So first, let's remember that a focus group, it's a group of people sitting or standing together, talking about or answering questions, giving opinions about a product. So when you study the market, when you want to know what people think about your product or service, you must prepare an investigation. Remember this, that you already said, you cannot use the same investigation technique with all the markets. It depends on the group. So for example, if you have children, it's really hard to sit a child and ask him questions, because children, they want to play, they want to move, they want to eat, they are playful. So probably the best way to investigate children is observing what they do, or making preparing a face-to-face interview, but with very simple short questions. So it is the same when we are talking about adults or teens. You have to prepare according to the market. So when talking about focus group, how to prepare, it's not difficult, but you need some specific characteristics that not everybody have. So here it says the focus group requires a lot of planning to do it right. So it's not just like that, people sitting together and talking without any control. No, you need to prepare it right. Especially because getting 6 to 8 people gathering in the same room at the same time with similar characteristics is kind of hard, because everybody's busy working or doing different things. So if you happen to find 6 to 8 people with similar characteristics and ask them to stay in a room at the same time, you are very lucky. So here we have some, as you can see in this picture, those people sitting here, obviously they are the possible clients of a product, and this woman here in green, she's the investigator. So as you can read there, it's kind of hard to be together, but they finally did it. So 3 steps you must remember when you're organizing a focus group. 1, memorize your questions. So you're not going to be like this, like reading and then getting nervous. No, you memorize your questions. And that's not difficult because you know your product and you know what you're talking about. So remember your questions. Not too many so people don't get tired, but not too little that you cannot get enough information. So just enough questions. Try not to repeat the questions so people don't get bored. Gently guide discussion. And something important to remember is that discussion in English is something positive. So when, let's say that Mariusi and I, we have a discussion in English, it means that we're having a conversation. It is something good. We're talking about something and agreeing on doing something. But it's different in Spanish, we use it as something negative. But this is English, so it's good that it says gently guide discussion. In other words, gently guide the conversation, questions and answers. And the 3rd tip is that everyone must be comfortable. Make sure that everybody is comfortable so you don't have awkward situations. You don't have uncomfortable situations with some people. So, for example, here, she's the investigator or the researcher. And she's going to make some questions. She's going to make questions to the group of people, and she motivates people to speak. So for example, if someone says an answer about one of her questions, one way to motivate the group is saying like, oh, okay, that can help us to talk about another topic. Or, oh, okay, that's a good answer. What do you think about that? Or how do you get there? Why do you think like that? Etc., etc. So you see, it's like gently guiding the conversation and making people feel comfortable. I'm going to ask you something, guys. How do you feel when, for example, a teacher or maybe your parents or a friend ask you something really uncomfortable in front of other people? How do you feel when something like that happens in front of other people? Do you like it?
No.
No, right?
No.
Exactly. So we don't like to feel like that. So you must take care of your clients or possible clients and make sure that they are comfortable. Something very important, and that's why I told you, it depends on your characteristics. Not everybody can lead a focus group. Not everybody can stand in front of a group of people and lead a conversation with 8 people at the same time. So it's very important that you are not shy. It's very important that you are a person that can communicate easily, that can smile and solve problems and don't feel uncomfortable in front of everybody. And that's why it says that focus group can be very dangerous if you're shy. As you can see here, she's running away like, oh my God, too many people, I can't speak. I can't be there. And then she leaves, you know, she gets nervous. So then we would have people like, okay, where did she go? Make sure that you are comfortable talking in front of people and leading a conversation. So if you lead the conversation in a very good way, you are going to collect data, very good data. Do you remember what data is? This was one of the first vocabulary words I told you in the beginning of this class. Data is?
Information.
Thank you, it's information. Data is the collection of information. Usually you have it in Excel or in any other applications or programs on your computers. So if you do it right, you're going to get very important and good data. So that was the end of the first part, how to plan a focus group. Now we're going to think about how to record that data, that information. How do you think you can record information during a focus group? In your opinion, what would be the best way to record information? What do you think? Well, you know, on your phone, you have many options to record information, right? You can make videos or you can record voice notes, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so those are digital options that you can use. So make sure, and this is very important, when working on focus group, obviously you are not working alone, you are working with a team. Because you work for a company, because you have a company, or because you have some people working with you in the same project. So make sure, first of all, make sure you have some help. So 1 or 2 people there in the room or close to you to help you. As we can see here, we have 2 people wanting to help because they are interested on the data too. So the best way to record information during a focus group is a video. You can do a video like with your phone or with a camera, whatever you have to make videos. This is going to be the best way because watching the video and listening to the answers, you can remember who said why, who said what. Like, okay, so man number 5 says he likes the product, he doesn't like the product, etc. So you can have a better, accurate, a more accurate information. And then it's going to be easier to type the information. So you can study the answers and then take decisions. What happens if it's only voice notes or audios? So these color lines here, green, yellow, red, blue, represents different voices. Different voices. So it means that if you record only the voices, it's very, there is a big chance that you confuse people or that you don't get the information because voices mix. So probably you're going to have like a mix of voices and don't identify the information you want to. So that's other reason why video is the best. But what happens if they don't feel comfortable with videos? Some people, and I am one of those people, actually, in my personal opinion, I don't enjoy videos very much, like being on a video or acting or being in front of a camera. It's like I don't feel very comfortable. And probably some of you are not comfortable in cameras either. Or are you comfortable? What do you think? Do you like being on videos?
No.
No. Cynthia, what about you? Denise, do you like being on videos?
No.
I feel shy.
Or maybe sometimes, etc. Yes, so it's the same with when working with other people. Some people don't like it. And that's okay because it's the way we are. So you don't have to worry about that. But what will happen also is that people sometimes when they know they are in front of a camera, they are going to feel uncomfortable or nervous. And probably their reactions or their answers are going to be different because they want to look good, because they want to make it right. So probably they are not going to be real. So that's one of the disadvantages of making videos during a focus group. So here, our recommendation is try to find a balance that makes people comfortable, but make sure that they give you their permission. So it's not like you sit people there to talk about a product and then you take out your phone and you start making videos. That's really uncomfortable. Nobody likes that, okay? Don't do that. Make people know that you're going to record. So gently tell them like, we need to record this data so we can study the answers later. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to make a video of this. So once people know you're making a video, people, first of all, they are going to feel important because you're asking for their permission. And second, they're going to feel comfortable because they know what's going on. So people feel safe. It's very important to feel safe. This is what I was telling you before, like some people get uncomfortable in front of a video like I do. And very important too is that you need to take lots, and I emphasize lots of notes and get audio too. So if it's a video, obviously you're going to have an audio too. So remember that I told you before that you will need some help, like these two guys here. Because you are going to be asking questions and talking to people like she's doing. You must focus on their answers and using their answers to continue the discussion. So you cannot be asking questions and taking notes at the same time because that's really uncomfortable for you because you can't focus on listening, and it's going to be really uncomfortable for them because they are going to be, hey, we're talking to you and you're looking at your papers, right? So that's why you need help. So you can handle the discussion, asking questions and focus on people. And then your helpers can be taking notes. That's besides the video. If people don't want to be recorded, they are like, no, I don't want to, I don't like it, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable, or maybe they are minors, like people under 18 years old, and they don't have the permission of their parents, other thing you can do is to record only the voices. So you can use your phone or a hand recorder like the one we have here on the video, here, and record their voices while your helpers are taking notes. So they can be taking notes and also recording the information. Okay, so far, guys, do you have any question? Students, do you have any question about what I just said?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you something. In your opinion, how many focus groups do you think you should do before taking decisions? How many? Only one is okay? Or maybe 2 or 3 or 10 or 20? Tell a number. Say a number.
1.
6.
No, 6, 5 sounds good.
4.
4 sounds good. Before I tell you the answer, 5 or 6 would be really great, actually. The more, the better. But do you remember what a sample is? Do you remember what a sample is? So when you have a market, for example, Guayaquil, we have 4 million people living in Guayaquil, which is a lot of people. When you want to sell a product in Guayaquil, you cannot talk to 4 million people, right? It's really hard. So you take a sample to analyze. So you use a formula and then you calculate, and probably you have to talk to 1,000 people or 200 people. It depends on how you use the formula. That's the statistics. That's not my part. I prefer Miss Angie or Mr. Jorge talk about that better. So when talking about focus group, you are going to have only 6 people or 8 people sitting in a room, and those 8 people are going to represent the 4 million inhabitants in Guayaquil. So one focus group is not enough because it's only 6 or 8 people talking about something, thinking that it's the way everybody thinks in Guayaquil, but that's not true. So you will need more to get more information and deeper information. So let's go here. So whoever says that 4 is a right number, you are right. Like 4 is the best numbers, the best amounts of focus group that you can handle. Okay, so here we have. So when having 4 focus group with different people, obviously, because if one person participates in one focus group, you should consider different people, not the same one, not even one. So like that, you will have diversity of your market, different opinions. Like key populations is another way to say client's profile. Remember the client's profile or your market, they have some characteristics. Like the homework you did with the chair. Do you remember that? When I show you about the soccer shoes, the helmet for bikers. So not everybody buys everything. So some people with some characteristics buy certain products. This is an example. Okay, so my key population is men, but not all men around the world or around my town. They must be married men, but not only married, but also like with an Angry Bird man, you know, with a bird here. So probably I want to sell a product for their birds, probably. And I like this part because it's like you have this, but consider this too. So participants should be similar enough, like here, all of them are men, similar enough to feel comfortable talking together because you have a group of people that they don't know each other. So, but if they have something in common, they're going to feel a little bit comfortable. But different enough to reflect the diversity of that population. So everybody's different, but everybody has some similar characteristics. So make sure that your group is like that, like they have something in common to feel comfortable, but also they're different enough to give you extra information. If your group is not diverse, like we can read here, it's better you consider an interview, a face-to-face interview like you saw before in a previous class. It's easier, it's more simple to talk to one person because like that, the person don't have to compare with other one or they don't have to be exposed into a group of people, but only talking to you. And finally, this is the third part of the video. So the first one was how to prepare, the second one was how to record, and the third one, this one is the last part, is how do you know when you are doing a good job? Do you remember I told you that you need people with similar characteristics? So what do they have in common? This woman here with this guy here, what do they have in common?
Puppies.
Yes,
Puppies.
both of them, they like puppies, they like dogs. So they feel comfortable because they find someone who likes the same. So it's going good so far. Avoid situations where you have like very different opinions about something, like very different tastes, or people who love something and other people who hate something. Because if you're going to have that situations, it's better you separate the groups. It's better you make one with this and one with this so you avoid confrontations, you avoid problems or arguments. So we had a woman who loved dogs and we had a man who loves dogs, and look at his face and look at her face, because now we have a person who hates dogs. So then you will have troubles. Like someone is talking about how beautiful dogs are and another one is like, oh, I hate them. So then you're going to have confrontations and people start like, okay, I don't want to be here. And then your focus group is going to be really bad, really poorly. So that's it so far about, with this we finish focus group. Do you have any question?
No, miss.
No? Well, here I wrote this, well, I copied these questions about telemedicine, because right now that we are at home and we cannot and we shouldn't go out, and please stay home. Even that they say that September 12th or 13th we can go out like normally, please don't do it. That's my advice for you and your family. Keep staying home. It's nothing bad is going to happen staying home. So these are some questions if you're analyzing like telemedicine. Like, how do you feel? You have a group of people sitting there around you, and then you can ask them, like, how do you feel about telemedicine, or what specific benefits do you find doing this? How you use telemedicine, etc. Questions that people can easily respond. So with this, we finish focus group. You can watch this video whenever you want. Thank you very much for your attention. Do you have any question?
No.
Well, I'm really happy to hear your voices. Very happy to see you. See you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Stay home, wash your hands. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Enjoy your weekend.